Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of OTR Vantage Point. I'm your host, Mark Kelley. Wherever you are, thank you for making this part of your day. Hey, do me a favor. Wherever you're listening or watching, hit those likes, subscribes, ring those notification bells, give us a 5-star rating, leave us a comment, interact with the pages, whatever you do. Help us increase this reach through that monster algorithm. Also, don't forget to check out warhog.com and kelleydefense.com. Sign up for our newsletters, and you can check out the Patreon page where you can support the show, get a lot of good interaction with Rick and I on Zoom calls, no BS training, and early access to shows, videos, vlogs, and as well as promo codes from our industry partners. And don't forget to check out all the past episodes of On the Range podcast with Warhog Tactical and Kelley Defense, as well as Warhog Words of Wisdom and OTR Vantage Point. Now, I've had many discussions, Rick and I as well, on the wildly popular On the Range podcast, the flagship show, about the self-proclaimed ruling class in the United States. Entertainers, politicians, even news anchors, TV personalities. Now, to me, politicians just aren't trustworthy. I don't trust them. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to lump everybody in there. There's some good ones, absolutely. But overall, don't trust them. Don't think that most people are immune to the tar pit that is politics. It doesn't seem so anyway. For me, entertainers are kind of the same way. Once they make it, so to speak, now, again, there's a lot of great people who are in the entertainment business, musicians, actors. But they kind of fall into that same category as far as I'm concerned. They like to tell people how to think, how you should think, how you should think like them. You should listen to them. They surround themselves. Oh, don't let me forget the athletes. They surround themselves with a bunch of yes people. All of a sudden, they're experts on everything. And they know how you should be living, what you should do, what you should think, who you should vote for. And they're going to let you hear about it. And if you don't, then you're a bigot. You're a racist. Or you're just mean because you don't agree with them. Now, sometimes these individuals, they gaffe. They slip. They tell the truth. Things that they wish they would never say out loud. They're thinking it, but they wish they never say out loud. And these insulated bubbles that they live in, it's amazing to see. Now, I've collected a few gaffes, and these are just little examples. And these are all in 1 week. And that's just because I'm looking. Matter of fact, I don't think I was looking this time. Little things that kind of rear their ugly heads. But the first one I want to start with is Secretary Miguel Cardona, Secretary of Education appointed by Biden. And I want to share this. For those of you on the video, I want to share this. And this is absolutely amazing to me. So I'm going to read for the listeners. This is the Secretary of Education. And he's responding to some hashtag that's going around on Twitter Nation. Love teaching, right? And it reads as this. Here's his tweet. The Secretary of Education, Miguel Cardona. Today's hashtag love teaching theme is Tremendous Tuesday, where we are challenged to tell a 6-word story that describes why you love teaching. Mine is the smile on students' face. Let me repeat that. The smile on a student's face. Now, isn't that completely tone deaf and ironic? When Secretary Cardona has been bending the knee to the teachers union to keep all these children in masks, How the hell are you seeing anybody smile? And with the way you guys have been teaching them in the teaching industry, not all of them, follow me on this, friends. Teachers have been fighting parents all over the country in many states. And there's tons of great teachers out there, great educators, great administrators. But there's a lot that are out there telling you, parents, you have no business in your child's education. They believe, and they've said this out loud, that the exclusive purview of raising a child is not yours. You don't monopolize that. That's how they feel about you. They don't work for you, is how they say. But yeah, he likes to see smile on his students' faces when they're covered up with masks, and they've been fighting this. These are the kids, elementary school, who are the least affected by this pandemic, which is not a pandemic anymore. It hasn't been for about a year, by the way. Least affected. And they are the ones that have worn the mask the longest. Completely inappropriate. Unbelievable. So let's go to another one. This one's a politician as well. And you're going to like this, and you're going to appreciate exactly what we're talking about. You talk about hypocrisy. You talk about not being self-aware. Not being self-aware enough before you hit tweet or hit send, whatever, to know what this is going to look like in the reaction. And who, again, just like with Stacey Abrams, who are these staffers? Who are these staffers that are allowing this stuff to go out? They should be fired immediately. I'd fire them. So our good friend from the North, Justin Trudeau. Again, I'll read for those who are listening, those who are watching. Go check it out on the YouTube pages of On the Range Podcast or Warhawk Tactical or Kelley Defense. They'll all be on there. This was tweeted out just a few days ago. Russia's actions are affront to the democratic principles that generations of Canadians have fought to protect. We must make sure that the Ukrainian people, like all people, are free to determine their own future, and we must stand firmly against authoritarianism. Really, Prime Minister Trudeau? Really? The last several weeks, what have you been doing besides other than taking away your own citizens' civil liberties, locking them up, taking their own personal property? Talk about tone deaf. I cannot believe that he can, well, yeah, I can. It's very telling how he can stand up and say something like that. This was a video. I'm just reading the actual text. Can you believe that? And all his little minions on his cabinet stepping up and taking everybody's peeps. Shameful. Absolutely shameful. Those truckers were brave. Still are. Still fighting authoritarianism that you are laying down, Prime Minister Trudeau. Save my favorite for last. Even though the Kamala Harris one was good when she said that voters will get what they asked for. Yeah, they certainly did. But anyway, so Joy Behar from The View. Now, The View is absolutely horrific. Now, it's entertainment. I get that. It's not news. But I cannot believe that ABC allows these women to go out there and say some of the things they do. Absolutely unbelievable. No one should ever take anything that any of these folks say seriously. Now, they have some good guests. You know, they had Michelle Tafoya on there. She was a great guest. A couple comedians, really good guests. And, man, they go at it. Now, they used to have Meghan McCain on there. I don't believe she's super right-wing. She was a never-Trumper, so that's probably why she was allowed to be on the show. But she's pretty conservative. She made a statement that I think truly shows how she feels. I think it really shows how she feels. And she almost reminds me of that crazy aunt or grandma that people have and then that everybody has in their family, somebody. And you go to a social setting, and when they open up their mouths, everybody kind of gasps because they don't know what they're going to say. That's what she reminds me of. And she's got a degree in education, I think, a doctorate maybe. But they're talking about the war in Ukraine. And the credit to the one lady who's one of the hosts, she was talking about how much of a humanitarian issue this is and how sad it is and how, you know, millions of people could be displaced with Russia moving in there. And then Joy Behar jumps in. And I'll just let you listen to it. Hopefully you can hear this.
But in Western Europe too.
Yeah.
You know, you plan a trip, you want to go there. I want to go to Italy for 4 years. I haven't been able to make it because of the pandemic. And now this, you know, it's like what's gonna happen there?
Let's play that one more time.
But in Western Europe too.
Yeah.
You know, you plan a trip, you want to go there. I want to go to Italy for 4 years. I haven't been able to make it because of the pandemic. And now this, you know, it's like what's gonna happen there? Flabbergasted. When I heard that, I was absolutely astonished. Well, you know what? I don't know why I'm surprised anymore. I don't know why I'm surprised anymore. Now, here are my thoughts on this. As a normal person, most of us, normal people, we don't concern ourselves with most of this social justice stuff. Now, we have our issues. We're not perfect, but most people, it doesn't even come up. We're too busy trying to be better, raise a family, do right by our friends and family, go to work. We don't have time to worry about some of these things. Some of these things are very important to people, and they do advocate for it. Good. That's what it's all about, being free. But this is a real good window, these three examples of these elite types and what they actually think and how insulated they are. These sound bites and tweets are very telling. It displays how far removed they are, leaders and these entertainers. They are so far removed from normal life and normal people that after someone just introduced the topic and talked about the horrific travesty of it, number one, the only thing she cared about is herself, how it affects her. She can't go to Italy. That's what she cares about. Well, how long is this going to last? Oh, you mean a free first world country being invaded, fighting for their freedom? As long as it takes till the last free person's breath is gone. That's how long, Joy Behar. They just surround themselves with other elites. They have their fake, made-up awards that they give each other. And they wonder why nobody watches. It's because of this stuff right here. This is a perfect example of why. Yeah, you should never take anything seriously that any of these folks say unless you trust what they're saying or the person. But this kind of stuff, this is exactly what they think of you, and this is exactly how far removed and how tone deaf and crazy these folks are. They only care about themselves. That's the only thing they can think about. This is what her issue is with the Ukraine being invaded by Ukraine people being invaded by Russia. Unbelievable. Tell me what you think about this take, guys. Make sure you leave us a comment below. At the very least, do us a favor. Go to warhog.com, kelleydefense.com, sign up for our newsletters, and make sure that you share these videos and audios.